Triple Crown here, 12/30/23. Last card show of 2023 today. I am heading over to the American Legion show, also known as the Green Hills show. Not a huge show, and my expectations are kind of small, but hey, let's give it a shot. Let's see what we can find today. Walking in the front door, this place is packed. The parking lot is packed. I'm having a hard time finding a place to park, and that usually means there's going to be a lot of traffic on the inside as well. You don't get a great view of it here in this video, but I went up to my buddy's table here, as you'll see, kind of the very first spot I can find, because there's not a whole lot of room to walk in some of those back aisles there. This front aisle is kind of cleared out a bit. I nestle my way into here, start shooting the bull a little bit with my friend here. He's a big Patrick Mahomes collector, and we've made many deals before. Kind of ask him about the show a little bit. We talk about the camera, because people aren't used to seeing me with the camera. But yeah, just getting my bearings set and seeing what I can find here at the show. Let's take a look at what else is on the floor. Cut over to this table at the end of the aisle, and I don't end up making a deal here. One thing that I will use as a tool to decide if I want to spend time at a table is finding cards that sell often. And I have a pretty good bearing of what those prices kind of are on those cards. This guy here has a lot of base Chronicle Burrow rookies that are raw at $20 a piece. Usually a sign that a lot of the things that I'm going to be looking for are going to be a little bit too much for me to start negotiations on, and therefore move on to the next dealer to preserve some of my show floor time. Here I come up to a dealer who I've made many deals with before. I'm going to avoid using first names in this video. Perhaps that's something I explore a little bit later on, but this is a gentleman who I've done plenty of deals with. He always has good stuff, and you'll see some of what I'm talking about here in a moment.
Hey JT, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? You look like you've been wheeling and dealing. There's a lot of empty spaces in here.
Yeah, Connor came by, and so he knocked me off setting up properly.
There you go.
But yeah, a couple of big deals already, so it's good.
That's good to hear. Always good to hear dealers, especially your friends, having success at these shows. You never want anyone to have a bad show, but sometimes when people are having a bad show, they do become a little bit more willing to wheel and deal. You'll hear it sometimes at shows that I go to where people say that they're very motivated because they had a slow start, and that's something I always keep in mind. But I'm glad to hear my friend here is doing well. I see a couple of cards on his table I'm interested in, and I'm going to start asking about some prices here. What are you asking on your Pujols Sapphire?
I found $65 raw, so I had it at $230.
Okay.
I'd do $150 for you.
$150. Yeah. That's tempting.
I mean, it's a 10.
It is a 10.
25.
Yeah.
$150 is not bad.
What about the Kuechly Field Level Selects down here?
I think it's $100. That's from what I could see on comps. I do $75.
All right. Let me see what else you got real quick. Albert Pujols is one of my all-time favorite baseball players, and I love Sapphire Parallels. That was a card that jumped out to me right away. However, I don't necessarily love that it is in a PSA 10. I'm someone who doesn't normally like to pay the 10 tax on things. It is nice to buy PSA 10s when you can. I mean, who doesn't love a nice 10? But generally, I try to stick to the 9s because I don't like to pay the 10 tax. I'd rather own the card for a little bit less and have some extra money to buy another card. Same thing kind of with the Kuechly. Looking at some of the raw sales history on it, it's just not a card that I would want to pay that much for the sake of having it in a 10. As I keep looking through this case, I see something that catches my eye. Look at that big old NFL shield staring right back at me, and it's one of my all-time favorites, Barry Sanders, as well. It's got a pretty low price sticker on it. It's definitely something that I have to ask about. What is your Barry out of? Like, what? I'm not familiar with the product.
Which one?
Your Barry shield?
Oh, it's out of 13. It's leaf, but it is taken out of a jersey.
Right, but like, what product is it?
Oh,
from?
leaf.
Oh, okay.
Leaf, yeah.
You might have to take a look at it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I luckily had a Stroud earlier.
You had a Stroud of this? Did you pull it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I bought it off somebody.
Taking a look at the back of the card, and it is not player worn. It is just from a random jersey, meaning Barry probably never had any kind of contact with this shield before. I do like the design of the card. Seeing a Barry shield is cool. It's definitely a lot more budget friendly than a game worn shield would be, but Probably not for me. I think it's still a sweet card though, and when you see a Barry Shield, in my case, you gotta ask about it.
Everything in this
I'm gonna mull over that Pujols card for a little bit, but here I go back to my buddy, and I remember that I have a Patrick Mahomes patch card that I specifically brought to potentially sell or trade to him. He gets all my Mahomes, or at least he gets the first shot at all of them, and I know that he'd probably prefer to trade over just buy it straight up. I'm looking up a couple of things that he has in his case that I might not be too familiar with the market with. The things jumping out, that Travis Kelce rookie, I've been buying a lot of Travis Kelce stuff. Possibly that Tua, I get asked for Tua stuff quite a bit, and I never seem to have it. And of course, I'm a sucker for gold, right? It's that Steve Young gold is staring me down in the face. Those are the ones I'm going to ask about once he finishes up this deal here. Hopefully we can work something out. If not, I'll try to give him the best cash price I can on that Mahomes. Get it into a good collection.
How much was the Kelce?
For you, it would be about $250.
Okay. What about the Tua?
I just marked it at $255.
Okay. And then your Steve Young.
Steve Young. You're the first one to ask about this. This is a pop 1. No other's been graded.
Yeah, it's 10.
So I have no clue what the actual put on that. And that's what I got.
Always tough to price a low pop card. In this case here, I'm going to pass on this Steve Young. It's just more cash that I really want to add on top of that Mahomes. I think the best deal for both sides is going to be me giving him a cash price that's a little bit below what some of the other ones have sold for.
$60 for that, so that would do. I'll pass on a trade.
What's that?
I'd pass on a trade, but I'll do 60 cash if you want that card. Thanks, man.
Thanks, you.
Appreciate you. When I got it,
It's a done deal for the Mahomes patch card. I'm glad it's going to a good home. Gives me a little extra cash to spend at the show as well. This won't be the last time that I stop back at this table, though. I've got one more deal here a little bit later on. Let's see what else we can find.
What do you think about this?
I'm a fan of the tie-dyes.
I take a little bit of a break with my friend Justin to go sit in the back. They have a nice little place where you can snack on some food, perhaps do some trading, and just kind of escape the crowd a little bit, away from the dealers. Nice little spot to have. He's looking at this Josh Allen Select tie-dye here in kind of a 3-card bulk deal with this gentleman who is wheeling and dealing. He sets up at the Xenia show that I'm normally at, and what I'm kind of doing right now is feeling him out through Justin's interaction. Justin is negotiating his deal. I've got my own little stack that I want to work on. I'm letting him go first, see kind of where this guy is at in terms of negotiating and how much he's willing to come off of his number.
You have like, do you know how you break these down to get to 5? Like, can you give me your individual prices?
I asked this guy for a price on his stack. He gives me 500. That's a little bit over where I would even kind of want to be to start negotiations at, and therefore I want to see kind of how he breaks this down. If I can identify which cards he might be valuing a lot more than me, we might be able to make up that middle ground and make a deal happen. Let's see how he breaks it down. Let's see how he counters.
Where you at?
On the DAX, I like to be at, if I was just taking those two, I'd like to be at probably 2 on just the DAX with the Ichiro and Pujols involved, like 250. The other 2 I'll probably pass. I like them, just not that much.
Do you feel for all of them?
I'd pass. I think this is the one that we're pretty far apart on. Like this one I value like 25. This one I'd be like 50-ish. I do 3 on all 4 of these.
All right.
Sounds good.
there we go. About an hour and a half into the show, and I'm finally on the board with these two Dak Prescott rated rookies, a nice number Ja'Marr Chase rookie year insert, and of course the Pujols Ichiro dual rookie. Nice pickups for Justin too. He scores the Josh Allen tie-dye and the Amon-Ra St. Brown RPA. Think I might have to try to get that from him. We'll see. Now that the crowds have thinned down, it's time to go back out and see what we can find on the show floor. I'm back to a very familiar sight here at this table. I see a few things that I missed on the first go around. They were probably put out to fill in some of these empty showcase holes now that I think about it. An Ozzy Albies nice on-card Gilded Collection auto. I love Gilded Collection. Also see a few various lower-end autos that I'm hoping maybe to bundle together. I have a couple of cards that I think this particular dealer might like in terms of trade, and that might be able to get me to my number where I want to be on that Pujols that I can't seem to let go of. But he's got multiple football slabs, a little higher end, and one really nice Ja'Marr Chase RPA I have my eyes on as well. Let's see if we can get a deal done on these.
There's nothing great in there, but...
What do you have on the Ray Lewis?
If I was selling it 150, if I was trading it like 160, 175, this kind of depends.
You didn't grade it? Is there some?
It's got like some minor surface things. It'd probably be a 9 sent it in, but most of the downtowns don't seem to move too much based on the grade.
Yeah, I know.
It's probably going to be out of range, but how much is the Burrow downtown?
Oh, I have it at 1,000.
It is out of range.
This is a good reflection point for me here because I'm about to try to include this Pujols in the deal after deciding to pass on the Burrow downtown and the Ja'Marr Chase Kaboom. I know I said earlier I didn't want to pay the 10 tax on the Pujols, but I think it's a pretty fair price and it's a really nice card. I want it. It's going against my own philosophy, and I'm going to have to try to talk myself out of it at this point. But this happens from time to time. I get fixated on a certain card that I really want to have, and sometimes it clouds my judgment a little bit. I'm going to throw around a few things here and ultimately tell you how I came to my decision.
So that would be 150, so 270. Lewis, I see anywhere between like 175 and 200 is what they've sold for. I haven't checked in a few days, so I don't know if there's anything new on it.
I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah. 22 Donruss.
Justin's working out a deal at the same time as me here, and this Ja'Marr Chase Silhouette RPA pops up. I'm really interested in this, and it looks like he's about to pass, which is actually a blessing in disguise because now my attention shifts to that over the Pujols. I really want that Ja'Marr Chase. It's a really sweet looking card, and I think I'd rather put my money into that over the Pujols, and that's kind of what really pushes me to end up passing on that card. You'll see the negotiation shift here as I try to nail down that Ja'Marr.
Mine at, what you said, 270 cash or 270 minus, you said 160 on trade value? 110, that and 110. I'm fine on either.
Let me see what he thinks on Ja'Marr, because I might want to swap that in if he's going to pass on it.
Yeah, I'm up passing to JT, because
So-
JT, you're back in.
I'm back in.
Yeah.
Back in.
No, sorry about that, Justin.
So you, where were you at on that Silhouette? Like, where's your settling at?
I mean, honestly, I do want to be at 300 on it. And part of it is I'm partial to the card a little bit. So
That's
don't
fair
know
enough, yeah.
So again, if you guys are buying it to flip, I don't know if there's any meat there.
Well, that's not your problem if I'm trying to do that. So,
Yeah.
I've reiterated this many times before on their channel, but I never want a dealer to feel like they are obligated to leave me meat on the bone. I'm the one that is approaching him here with this offer. It is not his duty to make sure that I make money off of his cards, especially a Ja'Marr Chase. I know he has a soft spot for it because he has an incredibly impressive Bengals collection. I've seen bits and pieces of it before. I don't ever want a friend to feel that way towards me.
I do 520 cash for those four, and I'll pass on the Lewis.
My gut tells me not to do it.
Yeah, that's why I backed out.
This is only incredibly tough to do, but I'm going to force myself to back out of this deal here. I don't feel like either of us are tremendously happy with how this deal is going to play out. Without the Ray Lewis downtown being involved as partial trade, I'm less apt to go after that Pujols. He really likes that Jamar Chase card. It's a PC card for him that he's only willing to let go at the right price. I just don't feel like either of us are really going to walk away happy from this deal, and it's probably better if we move on. Hey, sometimes it doesn't work out, but I'm sure we're going to do another one down the line.
Really want to give it up for the number
that's
that you're
fair.
at, so I don't. Why should we both walk away from a deal that we're both going to
Yeah,
feel
no, I
kind
want
of
you to feel good about it. I
Right,
get you.
we want both sides to feel good. So I appreciate it as always.
Yeah.
I'll probably hold off on these for now, but you'll be
okay.
at Xenia next weekend.
Yeah, I'll be at Xenia.
Okay, yeah. We
Yeah, I
may
probably
need to
will.
revisit this.
Yeah,
then,
I'm
so.
good.
All right, man. Well, have a good New Year if I don't see you again.
Oh yeah.
Now it's time for one of my favorite activities. It is value box digging time. I'm in this Prices marked box. There's a lot of really good numbered stuff, and oh, hello there. Nice Topps flagship black Miguel Cabrera. The super collector in me is peeking back out on this one. He's got a $40 sticker on it. Probably at the top end of what I'd be willing to pay for that card, but I'm hoping if I build a stack I can get a little bit off. And you can see some of the contents of this box in here. Some nice Burrow parallels and stuff, and they're all very reasonably priced. Little Tatis Instavision case hit, some cool Griffies in there. I'm hoping that maybe I can find some blue refractors for my set, or perhaps some blue ice prisms for my set. No such luck on this day, unfortunately, but the presence of 2023 Topps Chrome has me searching for those MVP buybacks. You can see there he grabs the card. He's going to look it up really quick, and he marks it down to $20 for me. And based on that, that kind of gives me an idea that maybe I can pull out a few more things that I would like to as I keep digging through these boxes. Some 2023 football parallels here, a good sign that maybe I might find some numbered stuff, or perhaps some super short prints, some case hits maybe that I can add into my stack. There's a cool Joe Burrow Heroes there. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but things are about to turn here as we get a little deeper into this box. Some of these Jackson Holidays here catch my eye at the end of this stack, but look what I find. There it is, a buyback. Ohtani base card here. It's stickered at the full buyback value. Typically, I am going to buy these at around 70% of the buyback value so that I can redeem them for store credit. However, I'm hoping that we can work out a deal on the stack to get me around that number, even though it's marked at the full 20 right now. To my delight, I find this Patrick Mahomes numbered card that I set aside, and that was $1. I will take any Mahomes numbered card for $1 gladly. Don't need to really dissect that decision too much. I find these Griffey Sapphires in here at $1. Absolutely love those cards. I will take a Griffey Sapphire for $1 any day of the week. And now I'm really just looking for that Topps Chrome color for my set, and I'm also looking for those buybacks. He marks that Ohtani down to $10. Doing me a really solid on that one. And now I'm hoping to possibly find some more in here as well. Because, I mean, if I'm going to get him at half off of the buyback value, I will gladly take that. And I appreciate him working with me. This is a guy who normally has vintage stuff, but apparently he's gotten bought out. Not a bad problem to have. And has brought in a ton of modern stuff. So we're kind of just chatting away here. And oh boy, I find an Acuna Sepia and an Acuna base for $1. There's a buyback there for $20. I don't know why, but I passed this one up. Probably shouldn't have. Oh well. But I think I'm just too excited to see those two in the dollar stack here. He knows that they are buyback values, so I don't know what we're going to work out with in terms of price. But oh boy, I'm a little nervous at this point.
About 15 minutes to come and put your name in the bucket. You have to be a customer.
Boy, robbing me there.
Gotta find them when I can.
About $30.
Sounds good.
That was incredibly nice of him to give me basically the sticker price on those two buybacks there. Totally a class move there. This is a gentleman I've done many deals with before. I owe him on the next one. Maybe it's breakfast at the next show or something, but I definitely owe him big. That was very kind of him to do.
$30.
Oh, yeah. Last deal of the day here. I go back to my buddy up at the front of the room on my way out, and I grab this cool Jackson Smith and Jigba snakeskin. People really like the case hit stuff. I always like getting my Buckeyes as well as an OSU alum. Glad that we can make the deal happen here. We break up some change, shoot the bull one last time, and I'm on my way out the door.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Who are you rooting for tonight?